Oryzon is a public company in the Madrid Stock Exchange. We develop epigenetic drugs for diseases which have a strong unmet medical need, like some cancers and neurodegenerative disorders. The company was initially founded back in 2000 in Barcelona as a functional genomic company. We were at that time characterizing a number of interesting targets, and over time we evolved from this concept to a product-oriented company by deciding that we wanted to explore the potential on those of these targets, and we were becoming an epigenetic drug discovery company. So today, Oryzon is having a very competitive and cost-efficient epigenetic platform. We have programs in clinical development. We have 3 molecules which are under development, and we have a first program which has been serving as well as validation of this platform in scientific way, clinically, and also commercially, because that program was licensed back in 2014 in a transformational licensing deal to Hoffmann-La Roche. Epigenetics is a sophisticated mechanism by which our cells are able to selectively and reversibly turn on and turn off sets of genes which are on discrete regions of the chromosomes. We know now that there is a complex machinery which is regulating the way that our chromosomes are working every single day. And it is now widely accepted that in a number of diseases there is an epigenetic deregulation that may also happen often with some genetic misfunctioning. Among the different epigenetic modulators that are making this regulatory mechanism possible, histone methylation and histone demethylation are one of the most important mechanisms to regulate the way that our chromosomes work. Among the histone demethylases, there is one specific enzyme, lysine-specific demethylase 1, LSD1, which is one of the most intriguing epigenetic targets and has been involved in several types of cancer, not only in blood cancers like acute myeloid leukemia or non-Hodgkin lymphoma, for instance, but also in some solid tumors like some subsets of lung cancer, small cell lung cancer. So there is no surprise that besides Roche, there are other big companies like GSK, Celgene, Takeda, Incyte, and others which are very interested in exploring this target. What is fascinating about LSD1 is that beyond oncology, there is a clear LSD1 is also playing an important role in very important biological functions, like for instance, neuronal differentiation. And we have reasons to believe that LSD1 is also playing a role, or the deregulation of LSD1 function is also playing a role in some neurodegenerative disorders like Alzheimer's disease, Huntington disease, and multiple sclerosis. Oryzon is clearly the leader in the LSD1 field, and we might actually be seen or being called the LSD1 company, because we have already 3 different LSD1 inhibitors, 3 different molecules which are in different stages of development for different indications. Our first molecule, ORY-2001, which is right now finishing phase 1/2A in acute leukemia, and is also in phase 1 in the small cell lung cancer, is the first program that we were licensing to Roche in 2014. We have a second molecule, ORY-2001, for which we have very interesting data showing in different animal models that we have an improvement on cognition and also a reduction on neuroinflammation. This program is right now finishing phase 1 in healthy volunteers. We were presenting last March in Vienna at the ADPD meeting very positive top-line data, and we are confident that we will be able to start soon phase 2 with this molecule. We have a third molecule, ORY-3001, which we also intend to develop for an orphan indication. All these 3 programs, together with the patent portfolio that we have, which is by far the most extensive patent portfolio in the field, position us as the clear leaders on the LSD1 field on this specific space on the epigenetic domain. Yeah, the financing round has been successful, and we have been actually very active in the last years, financing the company for getting the necessary resources to move forward our program. So let me just remember that we were having a deal with Roche. We have received so far $23 million under the agreement, and we are still eligible for more than 500 more in possible future milestones, plus double-digit royalties. Also, at the time that we were getting public in Spain, in December 2015, we were raising 16.5 million euros that we were quickly connecting to a debt funding round, by which we were raising 15.5 million in debt in very interesting conditions. So additionally, the company has also secured more than 4 million euros in the last 2 years in public competitive grants. So last March, we were successfully closing a private placement with US and European investors. We were raising 18.2 million euros. Actually, we had to upsize this funding round because it was really a very strong demand for the stock. And the offering included institutions, specialized institutions in the life science and in the healthcare space from the US, from Spain, and from the rest of Europe. It is worth noting that the majority of the funds were raised from international investors, diversifying and enriching the shareholder composition of the company. So this is giving us a really comfortable cash situation till the end of 2019. And we are going to use all these proceeds and the existing proceeds of the company to develop the R&D programs, the clinical R&D programs, also for working capital and general corporate purposes. So when it goes to more specifically what kind of use of proceeds we are going to apply for the R&D programs, well, our first molecule, ORY-2001, has been already licensed to Roche, so it's fully on Roche hands, and is going to be fully covered, the clinical development, by our partner Roche. So that means that the majority of our resources will be devoted to move forward on the second program, on ORY-2001. We are right now, as I said before, finishing the phase 1. We expect to be in position to start a phase 2 in multiple sclerosis before the year's end. For Alzheimer, we are right now in a very fertile dialogue with our scientific advisory board and with other Alzheimer specialists. We have very compelling data, preclinical data, that are suggestive that our drug has a disease-modifying potential. So that would suggest that the more suitable target population, patient target population, would be prodromal patients. So to perform a phase 2 in prodromal patients remains our main options. On top of that, we are also considering additional clinical options to explore further, which are the implications of LSD1 in the different parts of the disease. And of course, besides ORY-2001 and the neurodegenerative indications, Oryzon is also very interested on orphan diseases, which is a natural fit for a small biotech company. So we know now that LSD1 is probably involved in some orphan diseases, and we are exploring for our third molecule a clinical development plan on that direction. Oryzon was leading the LSD1 field and we were in fact the first company moving into clinics an LSD1 inhibitor in the oncological field. We are right now pioneering the field also in the CNS space with our program in neurodegeneration and neuroinflammation. This is a very ambitious plan. we are facing now neurodegenerative disorders, dementia, neuroinflammatory disorders, which are modern plagues and that need desperately new medicines. The catalyzers in the next 2-3 years for the company will come from basically two sides. On one hand, of course, as our partner Roche will progress with our first asset in the oncological field, we will be expecting to give good news and to receive the corresponding milestones. On the other hand, we are right now executing a very ambitious clinical program for our second asset. As I said before, we are expecting to start a phase two in multiple sclerosis, and we shall see first patient in multiple sclerosis. And as we will in the next quarters start other phase 2s in Alzheimer's disease and other neurological indications, we will be expecting to get hopefully some preliminary proof of concept signals at the beginning of 2019. This is a project of ambitious growth, and the company has publicly stated that we are interested and we remain interested on getting the company dual listed in NASDAQ. So we are confident that with the progress that the company has done in recent times in terms financially and clinically, we will be in position to consider this step in the future. So we remain very attentive to the evolution of the US market, and we will be opportunistic as well on that regard to do the right steps.